That might be a nice vibe. I think Osborne might be onto something with that. Peace to the family out there. Listen, it's getting rough, man. Peace to the family out there. It's getting rough. I need prayers. I need cash apps. I need Patreon support. I need patience. We had to ramp up the security on the website. So, yeah, some folks was having some trouble ordering. The security was too high. It was basically rejecting everybody. But I think we got it to a nice medium, so people are ordering again. Orders are being processed. I hit a little writer's block. Not even writer's block, like in a traditional sense, like a person with writer's block, they don't know what to write. That's not my issue. The information it got crazy. And again, I gotta go back to Max, man. Shout out to Max for that feedback. Max was like, yo, I'm going into comedic naturopathy overload. Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Listen, I'm trying to explain to y'all the value of this. It's not even listen, it's not even like it's so hard to design a curriculum from scratch in like a sense where we're like literally like we're like digging up, like we like treasure hunting in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like we like treasure hunting in a sense. And I'm trying to find the perfect happy medium where I could keep my lights on, but at the same token, it's affordable for everybody to get the information, right? When you think about it like this, and we got to have these talks, right? When you think about it, we're going to the foundation of what the largest industry in the world is today, right? When you think of the oil industry doesn't even come close to the healthcare industry. The healthcare industry is so large. Listen to this. The healthcare industry is so large that they have to trick you by making it seem like it's multiple industries. Yo, I'm trying to tell you. That's how crazy it is. They got to make you think it's multiple industries. It's so big. Listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all. Look, because I want y'all to understand this. Before we get into this reaction video, I don't know why y'all sent me this video, because the video we're going to have a reaction to, I done said the same thing as this guy at least 25 million times, right? But nobody listens to me. So now this guy say it, and people sending me the clip like as if I need. Anyway, here's my point though. Back to where I'm going with this, because I really want y'all to understand the value of y'all support, even time-wise, watching the videos, studying, reading the books. Like, I want y'all to understand what we're doing, right? The health industry is so large, they have to break it down into multiple industries so that you're not really like alarmed by how much money is generated. And to really understand, like, you got to really understand. We might have to really walk through some numbers. We might have to walk through some numbers real quick. We're going to have an interesting video today. We got to walk through some numbers.
Myron! Myron!
What?
What are you doing? What you doing?
What you talking about? What am I doing?
You reading them nasty books again, right, Myron?
Everybody read no nasty books, man. You scared the hell out of me. What you talking about, man? Wait, I ain't did that in about 2 weeks.
You called yesterday 2 weeks. What you reading? What you reading?
You scared the goddamn book, man. Dr. EnQi. I went on Amazon and got 3 Dr. EnQi books because I'm reading about melatonin and biochemistry.
What is, Myron, that's not even a, first of all, it's not melatonin and whatever it is that you just said. It's melanin and biochemistry. You can't even pronounce the word, so how you reading? How you reading, Myron?
I'm not looking at the pictures. I got the books right here. I'm looking at the pictures. You know, it ain't nothing nasty about this. So what are you talking about? I got all the books right here. What are you talking about?
Myron, you don't even know how to read. Every time we get mail, you bring it to me. You think I don't know that?
I got hooked on Phoenix. Now, what you talking about? I was hooked on Phoenix, so I know how to read.
As of when? As of when? Because first of all, hooked on phonics, I believe it's for kids. There's no such thing as hooked on Phoenix. And if I recall, you're the same person that thought reindeer was pronounced reender, and you're the same person that thought pigeon was pronounced piggion. So it makes sense that you went to hooked on Phoenix.
Man, such a dumbass.
No,
you always trying to say somebody can't read. I know exactly what I'm talking about, man. I'm reading the book. I got the book. I got the goddamn receipt right here. I got the goddamn.
Okay. Okay, let's go through some numbers, right? I had to go get me a piece of paper. I had to go get me a pen and a paper so we could go through some numbers and have us a conversation. I don't think y'all understand the value of what it is that we're creating, because we're like on some underground, like on some low key, like we're like building a pyramid, like right in everybody's face without anybody seeing us building a pyramid. Like we're building a pyramid right now. Like right now we're like Akhenaten creating Judaism. You know what I'm saying? Like we're right now we're in the lab. Right now we're in the Temple of Dendera laboratory, and we're creating Egyptian blue for the very first time. Like that's where we at with it. I'm telling y'all, we in our bag. Oh, what is this? What is this? Oh, look at that. That's the first time I ever got one of those. That's crazy right there. Shout out to Peyton Pleasant for the, I think that's a super chat. I'm not sure if that's a super chat or not. I think that's a super chat. I think I got a super chat. That's a little crazy right there. That is a little crazy right there. Page 200. Page 200. Peyton Pleasant. Legend of Wusia. I'm on page 200. That's the Legend of Wusia book. Right? The Legend of Wusia book. I'm on page 200. Thank you for this book. When the Kemetic priest said the value was 479,000, he wasn't lying. Listen, and that's a real thing. But I want y'all to go through. I want to talk to y'all about. I'm glad. I appreciate the super chat, but I also appreciate the sentiment and the comment all equally. Right? That was really, really good timing. That was really good timing right there. Wait, I don't know how to take this off now. How do I take this off? Okay. So listen, guys. I can't explain everything to everybody, but I was put in a situation where we had to upgrade our YouTube channel, obviously. I was put in a situation where we had to upgrade our YouTube channel like this. I just can't explain everything because you're online. It's just too transparent for everybody. But yeah, I had to upgrade the YouTube channel like this. I had no way around it. So I definitely appreciate the very first ever super chat. No. I don't want to like get rid of it. I don't want to make it seem like no, but I'm on StreamYard, and when I put it on the screen just now, I didn't know how to move it. Like normally when I highlight something, it just turns blue, but I can still see the rest of the messages coming behind it. For whatever reason right now, I don't know if it's a glitch on my StreamYard or maybe how my interface looks or whatever the case may be. But once I highlighted it, I couldn't see the other messages coming behind it. So I didn't know how to like unhighlight it right there. But we figuring it out. Yeah, we figuring it out. But so here's the thing. Here's what I'm trying to explain to y'all, right? So I want y'all to understand how big this bag is to really get this value, right? So let's look at the top 10 businesses. Let's look at the top 10 businesses in the world, right? Let's look at some numbers real quick, right? Now this just on the fly right here, right? So check this out. Life and health insurance is number one. Right? The number one is health insurance. Life and health insurance. The number one business in the world. Now, nobody would have guessed that. Nobody would have guessed that life and health insurance would be the biggest business in the world. That's a sleeper. That's a sleeper. People would be thinking digital currencies, stock market, real estates, oil business, all of these things that when you on the internet, all of these things is pumped to you every 5 minutes. I have a class that's click this link right here for a free class on how to do. Yo, do you know I just seen a white guy? I promise you. I was watching Stephen A. Let me say this about Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is such a bum. Listen, Stephen A. Smith, you don't even know what you're doing, bro. And I swear, I hope that I get big enough to be as stupid as Stephen A. Smith, but I hope that I never get as stupid as, like, because it seems like there's a certain level of success where you forget, like, you lose your grounding. You forget, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just forget who you are. And I'm seeing this happen to like there was a time period where Stephen A. kind of made sense. I'm not going to say all the way, but he, even though he was always like Skip Bayless's son, he still kind of made sense. But I don't understand how these guys can't see the forest for the trees. Bronny, LeBron James' son, with no NBA, you know, he's not an NBA player. He's a G League player, but he has top 3 the best-selling NBA jersey of all time as a rookie. And Stephen A. just keep continuing to cut this kid down. And I'm saying to myself, don't he understand that he's destroying himself? Like, every day, here's the thing, and we're going to get back to the numbers, and then we're going to get to the reaction. Listen, I haven't been online for a few days, so it's a whole bunch of stuff I might segue all over the place. Just be patient with me. Don't judge me. Listen to what I'm saying. Every day, the population above 30 years old gets shorter. Every day, the population underneath 30 years old gets bigger. The jersey sales are not lying. Stephen A., and what I'm saying is basically Stephen A. is cutting his nose off to spite his face, because he just got $100 million contract. That is for future endeavors. That's for future sports talk. LeBron is, listen, I'm a LeBron fan. Y'all know how my household run by now. LeBron, Drake, you know, listen. But LeBron's not going to play basketball forever. And Bronny has proven that he without even playing, he doesn't. So Stephen A. is literally destroying his future, because the future of basketball is Bronny. It's not Luka and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and woo-woo. It's social media is taking over. So even if the players is not that good, their fan bases is going to be so big, you can't overlook Bronny. Gilbert Arenas' son is coming. Carmelo Anthony's son. You know, I don't know what happened to Shaq's son. He need to get a social media team and figure his life out. You know what I'm saying? But the youth, man, you can't disrespect the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand. Anyway, I was watching the show, and this white guy jumped on, and it's only memorable because he sounded just like Polite. Yo, this was crazy. He said, he came on the screen, he's like, yeah, and why aren't you guys coming to my free class to learn how to sell tax liens and tax deeds? I was like, I felt like a little I said, wait a minute, what? It could just be me. I just haven't heard that terminology in so long. When I seen a white guy come on at the beginning of the YouTube video, yeah, and why don't you come to my free class and I'm gonna teach you how to sell tax liens and tax deeds? What did I just? And I don't know how to rewind or catch those. You know, I press skip. You know, I skip all of the ads. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. It was crazy. Anyway, my point is, all of those things, they never tell you get involved with life insurance or health insurance. Now, for me, you know, we spent a good couple of months discussing exactly how the life insurance and the health insurance business makes so much money. They make so much money because they're able to accurately They're able to accurately gamble on your life. How long you're going to live, you know, and how you're going to die. How long you're going to live, how you're going to die. I mean, you can't count for like a freak accident, but how you're going to die. You know, they got all these numbers and parameters, and if this, then this, if P, then Q. Listen, they whole program runs if P, then Q. If P, then Q. Because they're looking at your family history. They're like, okay, so chances are they have this percentage of chance they go down diabetes road. They have this percentage of chance they go down cancer road. They have this percentage of chance they go down high blood pressure road. And if they go down high blood pressure road, then this will happen from, 4 years from diagnosis, they'll be at this level. You know, at this point, they'll have no choice but to either do this or this. And once they do this choice, they'll have 7 years. If they do this choice, they'll have 11 years. You know, like they got this thing down to a science, right? And we talked about the essential nutrients, the essential nutrient deficiencies specifically that are causing these things. We put it in the books, so it's in the books, right? But this is the number one business around the world. Look how much money they're making. Look at the money. Look at the money. Look at the money. 5,000 billion. 5,000 billion. That's what they do in a year. 5,000 billion a year. 5,000 billion a year. Gambling, throwing dice. That's all it is. It's educated gambling. But the thing they're gambling on is the lifespan of individual humans. Right? It's statistics. What's that called in math? Probabilities and statistics. That's what that is. That's probabilities and statistics. And they done got that thing down to a Rain Man level. They done got that thing down to a Rain Man level. Then you got cars. Then number 3 is real estate. Number 4 is pension. Now, the slick thing is that number 4 goes along with number 1. Number 4 goes along with number 1. Pensions go with number 1. Pensions go with number 1. They figured that out a minute ago. Pensions go with number 1. Trust me, I went to school on Wall Street to get my Series 7. I'm telling you this. Trust me when I tell you this. Pensions go with life insurance and health insurance. Because guess what? If you're dead, they get to balance that thing right off. Zoop! Because any job that you got a pension at, best believe those companies got you insured. Yeah. You got a pension, they got insurance on you and against you. Then number 6, you got general insurance carriers. So how you got insurance 2 times? How you got insurance on there 2 times? General insurance. I know somebody can be like, well, that's just materials. No. That's general. That means they can insure you, your health, your life, but they can also insure car and this and that and all kinds of other stuff. The other items that are on this list, right? The general insurance people can offer you insurance for the car and the real estate and the other. Yeah. Now, stroll on down and pay attention to how many of these have to do with your car. right? Number 2, car. Number 5, car. Number 6, car. Number 7, car. Number 8, car. Number 9, car. You better believe it. And number 10 is a part of health, real estate, and car. Tourism. Absolutely. Absolutely. So these are thousands of billions generated per year. Thousands of billions generated per year. Now, no. Hold up. See, hold up. I want to try to get the accurate numbers on this one. This one is hard to get the right numbers on. Hold on. Where we at with Big Pharma? Where we at with Big Pharma? Hold on, man. Now, Big Pharma doing 1.6. That's almost 2,000 billion. That's almost 2,000 billion in the U.S. Well, what's the global bag? Okay, so I got you. I see what it's saying. So it's saying that's the number in U.S. currency. Okay, so that's why it didn't make the top 10. It didn't make the top 10. It didn't make the top 10 because it's 2,000, close to 2,000 billion, 1.5 thousand billion, right? Where our top 10 the lowest one on the top 10, which is tourism, was 2,000. So Big Pharma will be somewhere around 1,600, right? 1.6 is 1,600 billion, right? Okay, so 1,600 billion. If we tap that on to life and health insurance, right? If we tap that on to the top there, oh yeah, it starts to get even crazier. Yeah, it starts to get crazier. Now that's not exactly a whole thing. That's not exactly a whole thing. Hold on. Let me see something here. Let me see if I can find. Okay, see, I don't have good numbers on this. I don't have good numbers on surgery. See, surgery making so much money. Listen, surgery's making so much money, they got to break them down into separate spaces. So I would have to have really sat down and collected all these numbers in advance and like collate and like put a whole little chart. It's too much. It's too much. It's hundreds of billions of dollars just in specific areas, right? It's in the hundreds of billions of dollars just for cosmetic surgery. It's hundreds of billions of dollars just for, athletic surgeries, right? And like I was saying, athletic surgeries is not just athletes. It's all kind of, it's regular people that gets rolled into that bag, right? New ankles and new knees is selling like hotcakes. They selling better than Jordans. They selling better than Yeezys. Yeah, people are buying new ankles like new sneakers. Trying to tell you, the transhuman, all these videos about transhumanism and microchips in your hand and all that's like you wasting your time watching that stuff. Really, because it's all foolishness. You think people walking around with fake knees, hips, ankles, like people talk on Instagram, right? On Instagram, people talk all the time about Shannon Sharp, right? How in shape Shannon Sharp is, how healthy Shannon Sharp is. Shannon Sharp got a whole half a fake body. He got fake legs, knees, hips, everything. So you think these people walking around like my mom's got all kind of fake body parts. Do you think these people is going to even blink twice about putting a microchip in their brain that can extend their memory? The way the hospital system works is on pressure. It's on pressure. They're not going to force this stuff on nobody. They're just going to wait until you can't remember the name of your children. And when you laying in that bed and you can't remember the name of your children, you calling your wife or your husband by your boyfriend, like your high school boyfriend, not even to say you got a boyfriend, but you saying your high school sweetheart's name to your current, like when you laying in the bed at that level and you don't remember how to wipe yourself and they telling you, don't worry about it. It's covered. Listen, this is covered. Medicaid, Red Cross, Blue Shield, whatever you got, don't worry about it. This is covered under emergency treatment. We can get 90% of his memory back right now. He could walk out of here with you, or she could walk out of here with you tomorrow. You're gonna be straight. Yeah. Your husband, your dad, your mom, they could walk out of here tomorrow straight. Do you think people are going to blink? Nobody's going to blink. The industry is too powerful. It's too much money. It's too much money. This is over. This is in the tens. This is in the tens of trillions per year. This is in the tens of trillions per year. Right? Tens of trillions per year. And this is why, listen, this is why I have controversial stances on the idea of reparations. Some people like, oh, we pro reparations. If you're not pro reparation, then you against black folks. I didn't even have the FBA people tell me that I'm not black because my family's Haitian. I'm like, hold on. Do you know the history? Do you know your history? Like, are you insane? Right? And that's my pop side. That ain't my mama's side. Like, I'm like, these people are crazy out here. Right? So on one hand, I'm like, no, I'm against reparations because of XYZ. Then on the other hand, I'm 100% for reparations because of ABC. So ABC tells me, no, reparations is crazy. No, let me hear what your idea of reparations is. No, that's foolishness. That's not a real thing. That's foolishness, right? Now, if we look at these numbers, we're talking about tens of trillions a year being generated on the IP, on the intellectual property of comedic naturopathy. This is where I'm going. We're talking about tens of trillions of dollars being generated on the intellectual property of these papyri that we're going through, right? And this is why, this is why it costs $300,000, $600,000 to go through segments of medical school. Segments. Listen, segments. Because they might want to slap you upside the head for $300,000 or $400,000, depending on what college you went to. Right? Depending on what college you went to, they might slap you upside the head for at least $300,000. Then you got to go to medical school on top of that. Now, the crazy thing is this, and this is upside down. The better your grades are, the better the school you can get into. The better the school you get into, the more money you got to carry. Like, hold up, that should be upside down. The children that with the worst grades should pay the most for college. Yeah, because y'all ain't doing nothing but wasting time playing anyway. Yeah, there should be a discount for better performance, right? Just saying. So you might graduate medical school with $800,000, $900,000 in debt, $1 million in debt. The reason is potential earning capacity. That's why the bag is so, that's why it's $1 million. That's why they want you at $750,000 to $1 million. And you're not even a specialized doctor. You're not a specialized specialist. You're not there. At that point, after $800,000, $900,000, you just an intern. You just an intern. You still studying. You ain't even getting out of the hole. You 900,000 in, and you still studying. 900,000 in, you still studying. And you might have another, let's say 3 years to be, you might have another, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to be a specialist somewhere, if you want to be one of them GOAT level, heart surgeons or brain surgeons, after the 900,000, you might still have another 5, 6, 7, 8 years of studying in real time. Right? And all of this is based on the intellectual property from this comedic science. So this is why y'all have to understand the curriculum is so important, but also it's cheap. It's dirt cheap, because I'm working on the Ebers Papyrus, right? And let me tell you, the Ebers Papyrus, it seems to be more closely guarded. The secrets of the Ebers Papyrus seems to be more closely guarded than even the secrets of building the pyramids. And the reason is because of what we just looked at. Tens of trillions of dollars is generated. All this money is generated off of what's been written down in those papyri. Period. Not to mention, and you can't even calculate the authority right? You can't even calculate the authority generated from having the knowledge over life and death. There's no number for that. There's no number for that. The knowledge of life and death. Hey, wait a minute. I think we heard about that. Ain't that from that? Ain't that supposed to be what they got from that tree? Remember that was this tree in a garden somewhere, and the tree was the knowledge of life and death. Wakey, wakey. The knowledge of life and death is the only thing that can make you like one of the gods. Hello. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen. You already know. You're boy. Yep. It's one of those days. No, listen, I'm just working on the book. I'm working on the book. And I'm saying to myself, as I come into as I'm going through this, and I think some people may have underestimated what it is that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? The undertaking. Some people may have underestimated the value of the prices of the books. Some people may have underestimated the amount of books that's required for us to cover this. You know what I'm saying? Like, to cover it in a way that it keeps you moving. It keeps you moving, like workbooks. You know, we got the 3 main books because there's 3 main pillars to health. There's 3 main pillars to health, right? And so that's why we have 3 main books. The 3 main books cover those 3 main pillars, right? Covers the math, covers the philosophy, and then covers the actual, the biochemistry part of it. Those are the 3 main pillars: the biochemistry, the math, and the philosophy. So we have those 3 main books. Then from there, we have all of the individual books going in depth into different parts of those books. And we're still going. Like, we're still going. We haven't even had a chance to look back, take a breather. My leg broke. My leg broke. I had to still keep. Hey, what Jay-Z said? F if your leg broke, chick, hop up on your good foot. I had to hop up on my good foot. I had to hop up on my leg was broke. I had to hop up on my good foot. You know what I'm saying? Website, all kind of, we got to keep going because it's that crazy. Now look at this. Let me show y'all something. Hold on. Let's look at this thing here. Let's go back over here. Matter of fact, we're going to go to let's go to Amazon real quick. Let's go to Amazon. Let me show y'all something on Amazon. Now, y'all, let me show y'all what I'm saying. Okay, now, let's say, for instance, can you see what I'm? Okay, hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, so let's go to Amazon. Right now, y'all remember when we started this, and I was trying to explain to y'all the value. Right when we started this, and I was like, I'm trying to explain to y'all the value. And remember, we took a look at this book. Remember? Remember we looked at this book? Look at the price that came down. Y'all see what we done did? Y'all see what we done did? We did this. I want y'all to know that. We did this. The price then came down from 5,000 to 3,000. Now, I know y'all like, wait a minute. How did we do that, Doc? How did we bring the price down from 5,000 to 3,000? Because prices go by availability. Prices goes by availability. If there's only one or two books on a subject and that book is no longer in print, the value of that book goes through the roof, just like everything else. If there's only a little bit of oil, gas prices go through the roof. That's just how it goes, especially if people need it. If you need it and it's only a little bit of it, well, whoever got it, whew, they in control of. They in control. They that's power. Right? Now you got the power to raise the price or lower the price in response to how you want to move the people. So if you have a powerful resource and you have a low price, that's literally giving freedom to the people. Right? Now, what happens is if you're the only one with a resource and then somebody else pop up with the resource, that's going to make your resource go down. The value of your resource is going to drop. Your stock price is going to drop. Okay, so there's that, right? Now, watch this. Let's say I'm a person and I'm nervous, or maybe I'm sick, or maybe my loved one is sick, whatever. And I've been hearing all this Dr. Sebi stuff and all this crazy stuff on the internet. And, I'm trying to figure out what's what for myself. So boom, I go to Amazon, to find me some books. Okay. So I type in plants versus cancer, right? Okay, boom. Let me see what they got. Okay, plants versus cancer. Now let me start looking at some of these books. $62. Okay. Taste versus cancer. $50. I don't know what that's all about. Okay. Plant a new seed. Knowing the basics can save your life. Nutrition and cancer. Okay. $8. $14. So, okay, now look at that. That seemed like that's it, ain't it? Man, that must be the only books they got. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Look. See all 200. You see this? How this is snuggled right down here? See all 231 results. Okay. Let's start this bad boy again. Let's start this bad boy again. I want to see all 230 some results. I want to look at these prices. Okay, hold up. Let's be more specific. Let's type in plants versus cancer book. Okay. The Gerson therapy, the cancer industry. Okay. 122 results. Okay, we want to see all the results now. Stop this thing. Oh, it's just verse cancer book. No. Plants cancer book, 570 results. Okay. Okay. Medicinal mushrooms, essential guide, $12. Interesting. Forks over knives. How to Starve Cancer cookbook. You see, nothing here so far, respectfully, nothing here so far is tapping into that $1 trillion, those trillions of dollars. Nothing here so far is tapping into those trillions. My man Dr. Oz up in here. And they're going to keep flashing us this guy right here, I guess. See my man Dr. Oz up in here. I see a little keto popping. Okay. Sabi making an entrance. See my man Sabi making an entrance. Julia Fritz. Totally disrespectful. Totally disrespectful. Okay. All right. Let's see another Sabi joint. Who wrote this? Let's see who wrote this. Seth Leah. We do all the heavy lifting, and somebody else collected the money. Okay. Let me do this. Let me change this a little bit. Let me add another word in here. Let me just add another word in here. Let's add another word in here. Okay? You seen that, what I did? I just added one more word in. See that? Plants Against Cancer. I want y'all to see what I did. Plants Against Cancer. Okay? And so now we got this book. Then we got this book right here, hardcover, but we ain't got no information right here. Okay, so now, if you remember what I was showing y'all, look, now we're starting to get somewhere. Look, now we're starting to get somewhere. We're starting to cook a little bit. Look at this here, $267. See, this is where real information starts to come. This is where real information is at. All these books for $12.99 and $19.99. This is where the real information is coming in at, right here. Right? Plant flavonoids against metastasis. Right? But if you remember what I was telling y'all, right? If you remember what I was telling y'all, remember when we saw the Breathing Flesh book, the Breathing Flesh book looked just like this. It don't have no numbers and no information. Right? It don't have no numbers and no information. See, when you go into back in the days, when I say back in the days, I'm talking about like 25 years ago. When I used to go to Strand's bookstore, they used to have the rare, like they had levels. They had the basement and the first floor where 99% of the people was looking for books. Then you got The upstairs, and then the upstairs where where the books is locked up. The books is locked up. And up there is like when you go to a rich, like when you go to a paint, like one of them paint places, and they say, oh, well, if you got to ask the price, you probably can't afford it. Listen, if you got to ask the price, you probably can't afford it. Not only can't you afford it, but you don't even belong over there. Come from around there. Get your butt from over there. Come from around there. That's how these books is. So when you see this, you got to know, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. EnQi told us to go check these books. Oh, that's what y'all doing over there. That's what y'all doing over there. Yeah. This is what y'all doing over here. Yeah. This is what y'all doing over here. This is what y'all doing over here. Yeah, that's what they doing. You see, these is the other books. These are the other books. So this is what I'm saying, right? When you go through the Ebers Papyrus, right? Notice they would tell you when you go through the Ebers Papyrus that the Ebers Papyrus, they listed over 800, 900 different herbs that they was using for, different medical treatments. Right? But not just the Ebers Papyrus, throughout the medical papyri in Kemet. Right? They would tell you it's like almost 1,000 different plants they was using. If you study and you look hard enough, they tell you, oh no, they had the labs. Yeah, we got the labs, the beakers, we got the whole program. We got they not telling you what them plants are. Yo, they're not giving them plants up. They're not giving them plants up. They're not giving those plants up because the plants themselves, the plants is the trillions of dollars industry. Yeah, the plants is the trillions of dollars industry. You have to have knowledge of the plant, and you got to know what it's used for and what part of the plant is used for this. And then you got to just be able to keep making it. Yeah. But just like I explained to you with the book, the Kemetic anatomy and all that, you got to corner the market to create the value like De Beers did with the diamonds. You see, if you notice, when you go through these books on the internet, right? When you go through these books on the internet, primarily, right? Even if you go to Barnes and Nobles right now, or whatever your local bookstore is, when you go in there, they first get you right away because everybody's interested in life or death, right? So immediately, as soon as you walk in, I ain't been to a bookstore in a minute, and I know for a fact that they're gonna have books right in the as soon as I cross in. Herbs A to Z, $9.99. Herbal liver health, $9.99. Herbal cancer help, $9.99. Everything's $9.99. Herbs. Herbal diabetes program, $9.99. When you open those books up, if you set those books side by side, if you was to set all those books side by side, it'd be probably 30 or 40 different herbs that they keep showing you over and over in these books. Over and over. It's going to be the same handful of herbs. Meanwhile, we know it's thousands. It's literally millions of different plants on Earth, but it's thousands that have been documented over the years, right? Therapeutic medicinal use, right? And modern science has been checking them, right? Verifying, extracting, right? Debunking some, like, oh no, this is trash, right? They might go through 10 different, folklore remedies, and okay, this is trash. This is trash. Oh no, this doesn't work for this, but it does work for this. Like, because sometimes you would hear like, oh, this is great for this, but then they take that thing into the lab and find out, no, it don't do nothing for that. But they found 2 or 3 other uses that it is good. So we understand that 99% of modern medicine comes from plants. It's just what plants? This is why this is like this. That's why this is like this. Yeah. That's why that's like that. So people, it takes time to find that. That's the goal. That's when I say goal, I mean both. I mean GOAL and GOLD. I mean, that's the goal. I'm after the gold, and after that, the platinum. Yeah. It took me a long time to figure out that faith of the mustard seed, that little bar right there. Yeah, that little Christ bar, the faith of the mustard seed. I was like, hold up. This high powered right here. Mustard plants is strong enough. Mustard plants, like the only plants known that's strong enough to bring in to the roots transition metals, like heavy dense ones, platinum group metals. Yeah. So it's a lot to understand in these plants, and it's bigger than just, like I always been saying, oh yeah, dandelion is good for this one, milk thistle, dandelion, echinacea, and now, there's another, Sabi came with a good strong 2 dozen, what I'm saying, that he learned from the Mexican people. He came with a good 20, 30 brand new herbs to the conscious of people. And think about what Dr. Sabi has done and expanded. Like, let's heroize, let's deify, let's glaze Dr. Sabi right now, right? Think about the impact that Dr. Sabi has had globally. He did that with about 20 to 30 herbs. That's it. That's it. He wasn't working with no thousands of herbs. He had about 20, 30 herbs. And he was getting supremely busy with them joints. Think about that. Think about that. You think about the money generated from aspirin. How much money has aspirin made? The world over. Not per year, forever. Like, how much money has aspirin made? That's just one herb. White willow bark. Right? Started there with the white willow bark. And that's not even really an herb. That's a tree bark. Right? That's the other cheat code. Like, a lot of herbs is not even herbs. You're dealing with roots and trees. Anyway, but we'll just say a plant, right? So just think about that. Aspirin is just one. It's just one, right? Think of all the money generated from that. Like, trying to tell you. So when you hear that the Kemetic scientists, they had about 1,000. Like, it's not 1,000 loose. It's the creme de la creme. It's the 1,000 mastered. It's 1,000 mastered. Sebi was able to do what he was able to do with about 24 because he had them down packed. He had them down packed. Like he knew everything he needed to know. He experienced it, and then he went to studying them joints in every way that he could. Okay, boom. Now I know everything I need to know about these. Okay, I can rock with these. I can rock and roll with these. I'm Gucci. Let me loose. Let me loose. And he hit the globe and went two handfuls of herbs. And he never wrote a book. He never wrote a book. Never wrote a book. He had about 24 herbs. And that's over a time span. So I'm just telling you, it's a reason why they minimize what they was doing back in Kemet. They have to minimize it. But you can only hold the truth back for so long, right? They make the Kemetic people, hence black people, look like alcoholics. Oh, they just drank beer and ate bread all day. And if you got sick, they would prescribe you that same beer for medicine. They didn't know what they was doing. Come to find out, the beer was antibiotics. They had different types of beers, right? Cardiovascular beers, antibiotics beers, all kinds of different beers, right? Why? Because they're basically saying the beer we're using as our base, which is basically a combination of prebiotics and probiotics put together. Right now, if you talk to any type of health professional, they're going to tell you you need to include the microbiome in every program. So as opposed to telling you to include the microbiome in every program, they just built it into the fabric of the diet. Okay, this is what this is here. We start from here. And then they had a whole bunch of plants that the only thing you're going to find out commercially about those plants is they're going to say 90% of the plants we were unable to translate into any workable language. So, these plants, although they had, 800-900 different plants in their apothecary, for most part, they have vanished into antiquity. You'll find statements like that. They have vanished into antiquity. I'm here to tell you they didn't vanish nowhere. They didn't vanish nowhere. They vanished into the supermarket. That's where they vanished to. They vanished into the pharmaceutical store. They vanished into no antiquity, right? They turned into big businesses. They turned into family wealth. They turned into generational wealth. They turned into universities, right? Because all these things need to be funded by, resources, limitless resources. And the limitless resources are the resources that comes from the earth. Monetizing the thing that grows from the earth that you can't stop from growing. It's just going to grow for free. It's just wild. The wild, that's the unlimited. That's the self-refilling resource. That's how your cup runneth over, because the resource itself, it just keeps, when you empty out the cup fills back up. Wild plants that grows without the help of man, you can't stop them. Now, we do have a whole industry to stop them from growing at your house. Right? We can stop them from growing at your house. Yeah, we're going to put down some weed killer. Yeah, put down some weed killer and some pesticide and all that. So none of these plants should happen to grow at your house. Yeah, but they're going to grow in the wild. And people that know what to do, you know. Just saying. These are only facts. I'm just saying, these are only facts. Right? So this is what we're working on right now. This is why I was saying I have a bit of writer's block, but it's not the same type of writer's block as you would think or like other people would experience. Right? It's just tough trying to find some of these plants, man. They do not make it easy. I'm telling you. Finding these plants is hard. It's hard to find these plants, like and really just, you know, like, okay, these are the ones right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and anywhere where that information is, they're gonna do you like that. They're gonna block you, but not in a way where they're gonna like block you. Because this is 2025, so it ain't like, oh, you're black or you're Spanish or you're gay or you're this or that. They're not blocking people like that. It's, you know, you got to be a part of this group, or you have to be able to afford to make up for lack of affiliations with money. Yeah. I got 5,000. Give me that. How much that book? Give me that book. Send me that book. That might be 3 months mortgage for 5,000 on a book. I don't even know what's in there. I don't get to get a skim or read or nothing. I don't get this. Nobody got that kind of money. So I don't even know what's in there. Right? So, you know, anyway. That's what I've been working on with this Ebers Papyrus book. But that's what the next book is that I'm working on. The Ebers Papyrus book. And I'm probably gonna have to break it down into smaller sections. I'm gonna probably have to break it down into smaller sections. But the next book is a plant-based book, you know, to try to find these plants, you know, hunting these plants down. Because that's the missing piece from the comedic science. It's like, yo, and I, you know, over the years, I've been frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, you keep bumping into, oh yeah, they had 800 and something plants, 920, 970, 1100. They give you the number in a heartbeat. And then they'll give you an example of the popular plants. Okay, eucalyptus, this. They can give you like 20, you know, 20 herbs, mandrake, you know, some you might not be aware of, but if you're into the herbs, you know what these are already. Like, what is that other 900 that lost to antiquities? With them 900 that was lost to antiquity. Let me see if I can figure that out myself. Give me that paper there. So anyway, that's what we're working on, family. That is what we're working on. Now, let's react to this video. Now, no doubt, foraging is a real thing. You definitely got to learn how to forage, but the main thing to foraging is knowing the plants. Yeah. What are we foraging for? What are we looking for in the woods? Right? What are we looking for in the woods? And you're like, what woods do we have access to? Right? I know I'm global, you know, but if you're in Michigan, You have a whole, you got burdock root here. You know, you got some goodies. You know, it's dandelion, just forget about it. It's dandelion everywhere, but you got some burdock root and some other, you know, some well-known goodies. But if you're in Ireland, you got a whole nother. If you're in Japan, you got a whole nother. Your forest don't look like my forest, right? If you're in Australia, your forest don't look like my forest, right? If you're in Kemet, North Africa somewhere, right? If you're in Tanzania, your forest don't look like my forest. You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure out some of these plants. That's the first step, right? Well, not the first step. You know, we making a lot of steps. Listen, we done took a lot of steps, right? We didn't work through some anatomy, some philosophy, some math. Like we done came pretty far. We rolling. Now, we all at different spots in our study, but in terms of the curriculum, putting the books together, so the information's available, we rolling. Right? Yeah, we cooking. Listen, no, I'm telling you. No, look. We got a passport to do it. Listen, I'm telling you, we got a passport to do it. Technically, because it's a collective effort. See, not any one of us has to be anywhere. We as a collective are already everywhere. Yeah, I'm in Michigan. You somewhere else. Thomas is in, you know what I'm saying? Like we got somebody's everywhere. That's the beauty of teamwork. That's why we got to hit the Cash App. Let me put the Cash App up here. We got to hit the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? We got to do this thing. That's the beauty of having the teamwork. We are everywhere, right? We are everywhere. All we need to have is the information. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just put it in the I'm in Oklahoma. See that's what I'm saying. We everywhere. Somebody just said they got the app. Yeah. See, look, we got the cheat codes, but see, now here's the trick. Here's the trick. We got to know what plant it is that we're looking for. The app is like a magnifying glass. It's like an electronic magnifying glass, right? Because now we got the app. Okay, we know what we're looking for. These are the plants. Boop. So now we go foraging. We take the picture, use the app. Boop. Oh, this is it right here. Now you got to be careful because it's some plants out there like belladonna. You know, belladonna is one of the plants, and they done made trillions off of belladonna. Belladonna is one of the plants that they use for respiratory illness, asthma and all this and all that. You know what I'm saying? But it's highly poisonous. If you take two, you know, it's just highly poisonous. That's a highly poisonous plant. That's a plant that, you know, that's another thing. Herbs is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that plant is very poisonous, and it's got like a whole bunch of cousins. You ever had that one kid in your school? They talk a lot of mess. You know what I'm saying? Because they got like 15 brothers and like 35 cousins. Like they just got like 1,000 family members. Yo, they got 1,000 family members and they all look alike. Belladonna's like that, but in the plant world. You know what I'm saying? Like 1,000 of these, you know, shady, shady nighttime. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what I'm trying to do right now. And it's tough. So if the books, you know, y'all like, yo, Ink, you supposed to have been dropping the book on our head. What happened? The last book is the brown book, 360 Sports Articulation. Right, we got 3 of those. Right, we got 3 of those books. Then after that is the Ebers Papyrus, and it looks like one of those Ebers Papyrus books might be dropping this week, because I'm gonna probably have to break it down. I'm gonna have to break it down into parts, like the 360, where I had a couple of parts of those, because it looked like it's gonna be too much information, possibly, but definitely too time consuming. So it's going to definitely probably have to be multiple books. It's probably going to definitely have to be multiple books. Now, it'll be your I was just about to say, don't you taste none of them berries. Yo, don't you taste none of them berries. That berry will kill you. Listen, people go to the veterinarian. People go to the veterinarian all the time because they let their cat out and their cat done ate something crazy, or they let their dog out and their dog done ate something crazy. Yeah. Yeah, and those things can even still get you secondhand. Yeah, them things can get you secondhand. So if your dog or your cat goes out there and eats a smaller animal that might have just finished having something crazy, yeah, it's crazy. And we appreciate you for it. We appreciate you for it. Yeah, I like that. All the info. All the info. Support every kind of way you can. Let's go. Hold up. Let's react to this video, though, because I had a couple people send me this video. I'm like, yo, why y'all sending me this video? And I done already said this same thing like 6 million times. But y'all out there listening to Brother Tacky and all these other crazy folks. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
When it comes to modern supplements, there's probably no better marketed supplement right now than AG1, which I have to be honest, is one of the biggest scams going in the modern supplement industry. The power of marketing is so... When it comes to modern supplements, there's probably no better marketed supplement right now than AG1, which I have to be honest, is one of the biggest scams going in the modern supplement industry. The power...
Hey, listen, don't get mad with me, because I know some of y'all probably got this in y'all cabinet right now, listening to Joe Rogan.
When it comes to modern supplements, there's probably no better marketed supplement right now than AG1, which I have to be honest, is one of the biggest scams going in the modern supplement industry. The power of marketing is so powerful that you think, because guys like Huberman and Rogan and Peter Attia are suggesting it, that it must be a good product. But the truth has come out that Andrew Huberman gets between $20,000 and $50,000 per week to talk about it, or about $2 million per year. Joe Rogan gets about $10 million per year to promote AG1. Peter Attia is part.
Listen, I told y'all, I want y'all to dial it back for a second. Listen, remember I told y'all when the Billy Carson explosion hit the internet, right? When the Billy Carson explosion hit the internet, right? Hold on. Let me show y'all something else. Look at this. Let me show y'all something else. I just want y'all to see this thing that's going on. I can't see this videos. Okay. Look at this here. Look at this here. Now, if you look at this here, you will see that some of the Hebrew Israelite brothers just got caught up in a big scandal. What they've been doing, some chakra, some pegging and some chakra, some of that kind of stuff. A scandal has broke loose, right? Now, I'm only bringing that up because for a long time, right, I've been telling y'all about this chakra, this chakra madness that's been going on. And it's like every 5 years or so, it's getting more frequent now, but like every 3 to 5 years, there's an explosion in the online community and everybody's blown away. Oh my God, I can't believe this guy was doing this and that. And I'm like, how you can't believe it? And I keep telling y'all. So the Billy Carson situation happens. And what happens with Billy Carson situation? Everybody gets caught up in the wrong thing. Everybody gets caught up in, oh, but he was faking with the fake Bible. Blah, blah, blah. No. What got exposed was that Billy Carson has a whole bunch of people paying to promote and to ping his information. I want y'all to understand this concept of pinging information, right? Pinging. When you're pinging information, right? So here's how it works. Everybody has certain subjects that they're interested in. Every person, they got certain subjects that they're interested in. So what happens is the internet algorithms basically, they can't send you every video from every page to your page. So what they do is they basically try to send you what you're interested in. So if you watch some videos about Drake and Kendrick, the next day your timeline will be flooded with potential videos about Drake and Kendrick. And if you don't like it, you could click the 3 dots and press not interested. You know what I'm saying? Don't send me videos like this, or whatever the case may be. Now, marketing people recognizing that have created this illusion, this synthetic web that they create for believability. And at the same time, it's for non-believability too. Because you get used to hearing things in the echo chamber. And because you hear it in the echo chamber, and then the big numbers, 800,000 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers, this amount of views, 50,000 views, blah, 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 blah. That's what people do. They look right at the video, see how many views it got and how long ago it was released. Oh man, this got 10,000 views in 4 hours. This gotta be fire. And so now you're trapped. It's pinging. When you go to this page, this person's saying it. When you go back to this page, this person saying it, and then you go to this page, this person saying it. So now you done went to 3 or 4 different places and heard the same thing. So you believe that this is real because you done heard it 3, 4 places. You're not even realizing that all 3, 4 of them places, they're paid. Whether they're transparent about being paid to say it, or whether they're being paid in a way that's not transparent to say it. You don't realize they have a financial incentive to put that out there, right? And you're just looking at the views. Oh, okay, boo. You don't know no better. So now it also creates the reverse dynamic where if you're not in that space collectively, it takes something away. People are like, hold on, but how come you need, why you ain't over to getting what? It's pay to play. You gotta put that bread up. Same thing with the book. It's pay to play. How come you don't got that information? Well, that information's inside a book that's $5,000. That's why you don't have that. And the people you're watching, they're telling you what's in them $20 and $15 book. Oh yeah, milk thistle is great for your liver. We're gonna clear that liver up. We're gonna get some of that milk thistle. We're gonna get that milk thistle right. Because that's all they can afford. And if all you can afford is to watch people that's in that same pot, you're just gonna be reinforcing. And so you get into a space where you're not even looking for new information. You're just looking to have what you're already thinking to be reinforced. And when that happens, your mind doesn't grow. Your mind doesn't expand. It's like you're trapped in a synthetic small box. And you got to think about the type of money now. Listen to these numbers. Think about these numbers. How much money is Andrew Huberman getting for this one supplement? One supplement? How much money he getting a week? Let's hear that again. That's a wild amount of money.
When it comes to modern supplements, there's probably no better marketed supplement right now than AG1, which I have to be honest, is one of the biggest scams going in the modern supplement industry. The power of marketing is so powerful that you think because guys like Huberman and Rogan and Peter Attia are suggesting it, that it must be a good product. But the truth has come out that Andrew Huberman gets between $20,000 and $50,000 per week to talk about it, or about $2 million per year. Joe Rogan gets about $10 million per year to promote AG1. Peter Attia is part owner of the company and gets the truth has come out that Andrew Huberman gets between $20,000 and $50,000 per week to talk about it, or about $2 million per year. Joe Rogan gets about $10 million per year to promote AG1. Peter Attia is part owner of the company and gets a dividend from their sales. So do you think those...
Yo, hold on. What kind of money is Joe Rogan making? That's a different kind of money right there. Yeah, see, that's a different kind of money right there. I just want y'all to understand. He said Andrew Huberman's getting $20,000 to $50,000 a week, which comes out to be about $2 million a year. Joe Rogan is getting 5 times. Yo, 5 times that amount. So Joe Rogan is getting anywhere between 100,000 and 250,000 a week to promote one thing. Mind you, these guys got multiple things they promoting. they got multiple things they promoting. Woo! 10 bands, 20 bands, 100 bands. Man, let's just
Those
not
three
even
guys have a vested interest in your belief that AG1 is a useful supplement for you to be taking. While researching this video, I went through multiple dietitians going through their feelings on AG1, and overwhelmingly, their response was negative. If I had to sum it up into a single sentence, it would be that it's an expensive multivitamin with not much nutritional value, very low in iron and vitamin D. Does that really seem like it's worth $100 a month to you? Now, one of the reasons that AG1 is crap, just like a lot of other supplements, is the use of this thing called a proprietary blend. Now, a proprietary blend is the company's own special concoction of things, and the reason it's garbage is because it allows them to circumvent labeling laws. When you look at the way a nutritional label is constructed, it's always constructed the exact same way. And what it'll be, obviously, is all the ingredients, but the ingredient that is the most common in that thing will go first and then down to all the smallest ingredients. So if you get something like a protein powder and it maybe says it's got 25 grams of protein in there, then it lists 3 or 4 other things, and you can see a serve is 30 grams, you'll see that the vast majority of this thing is a protein. It's got 5 grams of maybe some flavoring, some sweetener, and maybe something to stop it clumping in the pack. But overall, 25 grams of protein from a 30-gram serve, that's a pretty good deal. But proprietary blends will allow them on the label, instead of saying 25 grams of whey protein, for instance, to say, proprietary blend Isoflex Extreme Plus, or whatever the thing happens to be called. And then they don't actually have to list the components by constituency. So they can list what the components are, but they don't have to list them in order of what the heaviest in the bag is, and they don't have to name how much of each ingredient they put in there. And that's important for a lot of these greens powders, because when you look at what their proprietary blend is, it usually is made up of a bunch of grasses. Now, grasses are a very, very highly inflammatory thing. In fact, when you look at the list of things that people are intolerant to and have allergies to, grass allergies are one of the highest ones. And this can create problems because these things can cross-react with things as basic.
Wow, he going crazy right now. He going crazy right now. I know some of y'all, listen, don't be mad with me. Okay, people sent me this. We just reacting to it. Okay, don't be mad with me, because I know some of y'all really believe in this grass thing. I've been battling with the grass folks a long time. I've been battling with the grass folks for a long time. I don't want no beef. Pun intended. Just saying. Y'all know we not cows. Y'all know we not cows. But, a lot of people, they swear by the grass. Wheatgrass, barley grass. Oat grass. It's a bunch of grasses. They swear by the grass. I think I should turn this guy off, but he get me into trouble. Folks don't like it. You start talking about that grass. Listen, it's a lot of folks with juice bars. It's a lot of folks with juice bars trying to do their wheatgrass thing. And they done flipped it on people, where when you take the wheatgrass and you get nauseous and all that, they done told you, oh no, that's the toxins. That's what's happening. It's just unleashing all them toxins in you. All right. Maybe it's a toxin itself, because you don't have a secondary stomach. Now, I will say this. The Panda fast. Remember we talked about the Panda fast. The Panda fast, that's in the That's in the brown book. That's in the brown book. The panda fast is in the brown book, right? That's low-hanging fruit for us. Leaves. Leaves. Just grab a leaf. Yeah, leaves. Low-hanging fruit for us. And stuff on the ground, we got to examine it. We got to examine it. We got to examine it. That's all. That's all. I don't want no beef with the grass people. Please don't get at me. Please, grass family, because I know some people on here might be selling different grasses, watching. I know probably half y'all got grasses in y'all cabinets right now. You done got you some green powders from this place and that place with the grass in it. EnQi, all green powders now have grass in it. What you want us to do the best you can do. Do the best that you can do, because here's the thing. It comes down to money. And sometimes there's financial choices that you have to make that you don't realize are financial choices. And I think that's really what this, like, I don't agree with everything this guy is saying. I don't agree with everything he's saying. I think proprietary blends are there to protect the intellectual property of the company or whoever is making the product. You know what I'm saying? But I told y'all years ago that there's a lot of things that it's not that far from the street. Like it's street, you know, they got to cut this stuff. And when everything is transparent, they have to use your ignorance. Excuse me for that. I don't know if y'all heard. Yeah, just belts right on. Sorry about it. But they have to use your ignorance to be able to cut the products with ignorance. You know what I'm saying? So they got to put some things on there that are built up to look like it's, you know, whatever. But really, it's not there for nutrition. It's there because, you know, in order to make this something that's good for you, as well as good for the business, they've got to put some cut in there. Got to be some cut in there. Right? That's the only way they could bring these prices down so low. And then the shipping and ooh, like they got to put some cut in there. You know what I'm saying? But they can't just put on the package filler. They can't put filler on there. So no, they're going to put some of these bogus proteins, which are really proteins, but they're bogus. You know what I'm saying? You can get like 20 pounds for $1 or something, you know, or some of these grasses or some of these things that's not really, you know, and then, you know, then they put the 4D on it. See the 4D, that HD, when they put that HD video together, they put that HD video quality, get some muscular folks, you know what I'm saying? Get some tight body, you know, some ladies, nice butts with the abs and the, you know, they put that video. That's it. They put that tight video together, shoot that joint to Joe Rogan. It's a wrap. But it's got to be a lot of cut in there. It got to be a lot of cut in there because they still got to make enough money to re-up, to keep the product going. But then how many people can you afford to pay $50,000 and $100,000 a week to promo? That's a lot of money to just come off the top. You're just paying somebody, you paying out $500,000 a week to promote a product. How much are you paying to package it? And like, how much is the product costing you? Sheesh. That's a lot of profit margin. That's a high profit margin. How can you, that's a lot of money. That's just on fluff, right? Because technically, if they're selling the product for $100 in order to pay people hundreds of thousands just to market it, your price got to be really low. You got to be paying next to nothing for that thing. And that's where the problem comes in. That's where the problem comes in. Now, I think this guy that we were watching, I think he has some personal beef. I think he's a bit of a hater a little bit. But what the truth of what he's saying, though, is where the markup comes in at. And this is what I always try to explain to people. And I say it because I have 5 children. I have 10 children. I got 5 little ones that I'm struggling to take care, you know. So the balling has to be on a budget. The balling has to be on a budget. And unfortunately, we live in a world where nutrition is considered extra. Nutrition is a luxury. You know what I'm saying? Nutrition is a luxury. So it really comes down to not nutrition, but is nutrition priced per dollar. That's what it comes down to. So it's not to say, okay, well, this product is trash because it's toxic, it's not healthy, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not the truth of this. The truth of this is the price that you're paying for the amount of nutrition you're getting is laughable. It's laughable, right? It's not to say that there's no nutrition in it. There's plenty of nutrition in it. Even the guy that we're listening to says it's a multivitamin based, you know, it's like a multivitamin. But the problem is that in order to make a product and then have enough room to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for just for marketing, you still have to make some amount of profit for yourself as a company. So if you're making hundreds of thousands in profit and you're paying out hundreds of thousands to other folks just to promote it, 99% of what people are paying, the consumer's paying, is nothing. It's nothing. It's fluff. It's fluff. It's not based on the value of the actual nutrition you're receiving. So that's where I would be at in the middle. Now, the guy we listen to, he on fire. He probably tried to get on Joe Rogan, one of them. They snubbed him, and he done dedicated himself. Like, okay, that's how we playing. that's how we gonna do. Okay, that's how we gonna do. All right, y'all forgot I know about this whole program too. I'm getting ready to blast it. I'm getting ready to tell everybody about the bots. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake telling on the label, boosting the albums. I'm getting ready to tell everybody on the bots. That's how this guy is coming off. But the reality is not as bad as he's making it. It's not like, you know, something's wrong with the product or whatever the case may be. It's just the overinflation of the price because they're selling you so much more, you know, luxury and you know, like style and, you know, and it's not like it's a custom handmade product. It's not a custom handmade product because on one side you can say, yeah, well, you know, custom hand design, it's the Bentley of green powders. No, it's not. That's the problem. It's being sold at the price as if it's the Bentley of green powders, but it's not. It's the Kia. Right? It's the Kia. It comes off of the factory line. It's not like handmade, handcrafted, put together. No. That's not that. That you know that by the speed that it ship out. When your order take a long time, hint, hint, wink, wink. That's custom hand designed one at a time. That's what that is. If you order 1,000 or 100,000 of them and they equally ship out at the same speed, that's the Kia. That's coming right off the assembly line. Machines put that together. Ready to flip them joints out off the assembly line. So don't think that. You're just getting the look like it's the Bentley. You know what I'm saying? Like it's what's that car that looked like the Bentley to the Bentley pull up next to it, like the Magnum. what's that? The Magnum 300, the 300, whatever that. It's like that. You're just getting a look in the commercial. They got the high quality cameras, and they put that edit on it. Pop, pop, pop. Then whoop, they send that thing on over to Joe Rogan.
Basically is potatoes, tomatoes, kiwi fruit, citrus fruits, and all of a sudden you think you have an allergy to tomatoes, but it's because you're taking in 4 different grasses that you've actually got an intolerance to in a proprietary blend of one of these greens powders. And that gets us to protein powders. They typically will engage in this thing called amino spiking. Now, a good protein powder, again, will say 25 grams of whey protein isolate, and that will be it. Companies will dump in cheap amino acids like beta-alanine, glycine, as well as things like creatine to bump up the amino acid content and make it look like you've actually got more protein in the bag than what you really do. So that could mean instead of your 25-gram serve of protein, you might have 12 grams of whey protein isolate, 5 grams of creatine, 5 grams of beta-alanine, and 3 grams of some other cheap amino acid that they chose to put in there. You've only actually got 12 grams of whey protein though. And all of these things will simply say proprietary blend, again with a crazy name that they've come up with. They may list the ingredients, but again, they won't tell you how much of each is really in there. This can be further confused when you see things like milk powder or skim milk powder in there, because that is a cheap way to bump up the protein concentrate in all protein powders. So you'll typically find very cheap protein powders tend to have either milk powder or skim milk powder added to them, again, meaning you're getting a very low concentration of actual high quality protein. One of the ways you can tell is for a low leucine content. Leucine is actually a very important amino acid, but it's quite expensive. In general, if the leucine content is below 2.7 grams per 25 grams of protein, it shows you they're engaged in amino acid spiking in your protein powder. Now, I do need to, it shows you they're engaged in amino acid. One of the ways you can tell is for a low leucine content. Leucine is actually a very important amino acid, but it's quite expensive. In general, if the leucine content is below 2.7 grams per 25 grams of protein, it shows you they're engaged in amino acid spiking in your protein powder. Amino acid, but it's quite expensive. In general, if the leucine content is below 2.7 grams per 25 grams of protein, it shows you they're engaged in amino acid spiking in your protein powder. Now, I do need to get quite expensive. In general, if the leucine content is below 2.7 grams per 25 grams of protein, it shows you they're engaged in amino acid spiking.
Okay. And just before you get sick of me replaying that, here's the reason why that's a very important part of this little video here. Right? Like I said, homeboy is in his emotions. He's in his feelings. Andrew Huberman, Joe Rogan, somebody done violated this man. He's upset. Problem. What's Taj Tariq? What's Taj Tariq Bayline? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater on this one. Right? What he's saying to you is it's not, listen, what he's saying to you is like over correct. So right now, anyway, at least with the leucine. Here's the scam when it comes to leucine, right? Here's the scam. And he's talking about something different than what I'm talking about, right? He's talking about something, but the root of what I'm getting ready to say and what he's saying, look. Without even words, you just get the communication. So there's a thing that's called, where's my marker at? Where's my marker at? There's a thing that happens with leucine, right? We talk about this all the time. Right? So let's talk about this real quick. Okay, so you have this guy. This is not my new marker. All right, so you got this guy, right? You have the MTOR pathway, right? Now, again, if you don't have this book, go get this book. If P, then Q, right? Go get this book. If P, then Q, surgery without a knife. Go get this book, right? Put this in your Amazon cart, right? All throughout this book, I have a little chart, right? And in the chart, there's a few things in there. MTOR is one of them, but you have AMPK, autophagy, like just a couple of things you want to keep track of if you're in this health space, right? Melanin concentrating hormone, stimulating hormone, just a couple of goodies, right? Anyway, MTOR is the growth pathway in your body. It's the growth pathway, right? So when you're born, right, this is how your body grows, maintains, etc. It's like a blueprint that you always got to keep in the back of your mind. At birth and then throughout your childhood, your body's making way more cells than it's destroying. At birth, you just all growth. Your body's just making as much cells as possible. Everything is just replicating. When you get to your adulthood, your body's managing, right? It's balanced at that point. Your body is breaking down just about the same amount of cells that it's recreating every day, right? When you get into your senior years, your body is breaking down more cells than it's creating, right? So that's why people are getting smaller. Now, in athletics, particularly like bodybuilding stuff, and it's important because bodybuilders are like literally selling 90% of the supplements out there in the health universe. And they're selling the supplements based on what they need to do to maintain their physique, right? But everybody doesn't want to look like Reacher, right? If you don't know who Reacher is he's like the white version of Mr. T from the A-Team. I don't know. See, I'm 47. When I was little, the A-Team was my favorite show. And Mr. T was the big muscly guy that just came in and beat folks up. If you haven't seen this show yet, Reacher is like a combination of the whole A-Team in one. He's the smart guy, the Mr. T, everything, but he's huge. You know what I'm saying? Like he's huge. Yeah, he's a big guy, right? So the whole idea though with bodybuilding is constant mTOR activation. Constant mTOR activation. Now, the thing with this is, as an adult, if you keep your mTOR pathway on, you have to constantly monitor your diet. I'm talking about like how you see these guys on the videos. See, what you're not understanding is that they have to track every meal or they'll die. They're not just tracking these meals. Like when you watch one of these programs and they're like a day in the life of such and such, and they all got the same thing they eating: white rice, eggs, chicken breast, whatever. And, you know, they go down to the wire. They measure each amount of salt and pepper and, you know, ketchup. And they be looking mad excited just to get a little splash of ketchup on their food. Like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this all week. I'm going to have ketchup on my rice. Like, because they have to measure every single thing to the wire or they're going to die. They have this mTOR system activated. And the thing about mTOR is, for a bodybuilder or athlete, the mTOR pathway being on is beautiful. But for a person that's not a bodybuilder, not an athlete, if your mTOR pathway is on, it's going to lead to cancer. Yeah. The life insurance, remember we looked at that? Or you might not have you might have tuned in late. We started this video, we was looking at the #1 business. Well, the MTOR pathway is one of those ways that they can predict when you're going to die and how you're going to die. If your MTOR pathway is on, and let's say you're a librarian and your MTOR is on, chances are you're going to die somehow from cancer. Yeah. Something's going to be growing in you that's not supposed to be growing. Yeah, this is not a good thing here, right? So anyway, how do we get to this? From that, enter this guy, leucine, not to be confused with lysine. A lot of people get those confused. They be like, no, EnQi, you said the lysine. No, EnQi, you said the lysine was good for the bodybuilding and the leucine was good for the infections and the buildup. No, I need y'all to relax. Leucine, lysine, totally two different things. They both amino acids, but they're totally different. Now, leucine is the cheat code because all you need is a gram or two of leucine, and leucine automatically turns the on switch for the mTOR pathway. So you will see a lot of expensive protein powders out there. They expensive. They're like $30, $40, $50 a bottle. Not because they have a low amount of ammonia. Like that's a high quality protein is one where your body doesn't produce a lot of ammonia from it, right? Because then it's a lot of low quality amino acids in there. The lower the quality of amino acids, the more ammonia your body turns that into. The more high quality amino acids in the powder, the less ammonia your body's going to produce from it, right? That's the less waste. But a lot of these things, they just expensive, not because of the high quality, but because they got some leucine in there. It's going to turn that mTOR machine on for you. And in a matter of 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 3 months, whatever, you're going to see the growth. You're going to see the growth because of the leucine. But now here's where the hustle comes in at, right? Here's where the hustle comes in. And remember, what I'm telling you, everything is balling on the budget, right? When you do, and this is why all these books, all this study is so important. I'm trying to save you money by learning all this stuff. All this stuff is in the books. It's nothing that I'm talking about right here that's not in these books already, right? But here's how you save the money. How you save the money is you could just, if this what you're trying to do, you could just go get the leucine by itself. You don't need to get the $50 bottle of whatever. Yeah. You don't need no $50 drink. You could just go get you the leucine by itself. If that's what you're trying to do. Yeah. If that's what you're trying to do, you could just go get you leucine by itself. 2,000 milligrams. Boop. Done deal. 2,000 milligrams. And take the rest of that money and then go to Amazon and get the books. See, so that's why I was saying what he's saying and what I'm saying is about to be different, but at the core, it's the same because he's getting ready to explain to you a whole different hustle associated with it. Because you got some protein powders out there, they don't even have the right amount of leucine in there. And how you know the right amount of leucine? The only way to know the right amount is to know the protein powder source, right? Because every protein source has a structure to it. right? So if you're getting hemp, the hemp plant has a structure to it, right? If you're getting pea protein, pea protein has a structure to it. If you're getting whey protein has a structure to it, meaning is a specific ratio that's naturally exists inside that protein source. So when there's an abnormally low amount of leucine, and usually only big companies can afford to do this, that means they sold you the protein without the leucine in it and took the leucine and put that in another product. So now you're going to get the protein powder, right? And the leucine. You spending probably $40-50 on the leucine and then another $50 on the protein powder. When you probably could have just got the leucine from somewhere else for like $20 or $30 that would have lasted you for 2-3 months. Yeah, you could have got you a good, high grade, high quality leucine that would have lasted you for 3 months, probably with $30-40, as opposed to getting the protein powder, which is only going to last you for 2 weeks for $50. See, that's what it is. It's price per serving. Remember, it's not just price. It's price per serving, right? Because you might go get something with a low price. It might be $20, but it only might be 8 servings in there. So that's 8 days. That ain't you ain't did nothing with that. As opposed to getting something that you might spend $70 on, $80 on, but you got 3 months worth of serving. You got to figure out, right? And so that's the thing. You just got to know what it is when you get in your products, like what you're trying to do. What is your goal, right? What are you trying to do with your body? And then what's your budget look like? The goal, when you have your goal tells you what you're trying to do, right? I want to get a protein that's high in leucine because I'm trying to build up some muscle. Okay, cool. If you're not trying to do that, you're not trying to get bulky, right? You want to look for stuff like that's high in lysine, right? Lysine goes the opposite way, right? So that's the other thing. The leucine, this goes with the BCAAs, the branched chain amino acids, right? This is for your skeletal. This is primarily your skeletal muscle universe. So pecs, delts, bis, tris, lats, all you in that universe. But the folks that's just trying to make sure they don't need help getting off the toilet, they want to be able to jog, have great sex, wear a nice little outfit, you in the lysine universe, because lysine goes along with vitamin C and copper, right? And this builds up all your tissues, including your collagen, right? So this in and of itself is not collagen, but this is what turns on the collagen building matrix. So you're still going to need the hydroxyproline and the glycine and all those ingredients of the collagen itself. But this is what builds up, this is what turns on that system. So leucine turns on the MTOR system for growth. Lysine turns on the structural system for growth, right? And most of your muscles, now here's the thing. Here's the even super slicker part. Then we'll go back to whatever homeboy's saying. This system does not need this system. This system does not need this system. But this system absolutely needs this system also. Because your muscles, 3/4 of what's in a muscle and makes a muscle look big and grows and hard and all that kind of stuff is the structure, the structural proteins that are inside that. See, because we're looking at it like, okay, here's the bicep. most of what's in there is not, you know, the myosin and the actin and the most of what's in there is the structural proteins that allow those to function and do their, you know, their electrical work, right? So you have to have this in place, whether you're trying to get strong and look like a magazine, you know, one of them people, or whether you just want to be healthy and you working for longevity. This can't be substituted, right? So that's another thing you want to look for is what the ingredients are. You know, what type of amino acid, what's the amino acid profile? And we kind of go through that in the Osiris Diabetes and Respiration book. We touch on a few things up in there, so make sure you got that book. You know. Anyway, let's go back to saying what my man is saying. Because I know I start talking and go crazy. Listen. That's why I'm going through these plants. Listen to what I'm saying. See, Peyton, Peyton, listen. Okay. Same time. Matter of fact, let's do the secret handshake. Shh. That's why we got to go through these plants, right? Because a lot of steroids is synthesized from plants. A lot of growth, listen, the plant kingdom is crazy. If people keep the plants secret so they can make a bazillion. So listen, we going. Listen, we got internet royalty. Listen, you know we doing good whenever Hotep Jesus step in the building. I should do my reaction to Hotep Jesus video. Man, y'all went in. You know what it is? I was going to do a reaction to your video that y'all did on DJ and Trump, but y'all said everything. It was nothing left for me to say except for everybody. Go to Hotep Jesus page and watch the video they did last week on Trump and DJ. Yeah, it was nothing left for me to say. To do the reaction video. Man, y'all covered everything.
In your protein powder. Now, I do need to give a shout out to some supplements like creatine, which is absolutely not a scam. Creatine is probably the most researched supplement on the planet, has been shown to have a number of benefits that help all of us trying to get stronger and healthier. At around 3 gram dosage per day, creatine has been shown to increase lean body mass by 2.2% with strength gains in the 5 to 8% range. However, for people in my age group, one of the benefits that's given for creatine is usually mental focus. All the meats you eat also have creatine in it. So beef, pork, tuna, and salmon have something like 1.5 to 2.5 grams of creatine per pound, which is about 450 grams. To put this in perspective, to get enough creatine in your diet naturally without needing to supplement it, if you were following the basic recommendations of 1 gram per pound of body weight, a 180-pound guy needs 180 grams of protein, which equates to about 600 grams of meat. So if you hit your basic 1 gram per pound.
Okay, man, he going in. Shout out to the family that sent me this video. So here's the thing. Let me say this, because what he's saying right now is almost Charlie Brown teacher talk. For people that eat meat, For all of my meat eaters, right? What he's saying is basically you don't need to spend that much money on creatine. You're already loaded with creatine if you're eating meat all day. If you eat meat 2-3 times a day, you're good. Now, here's the actual scam that I've been trying to point out to folks for the last, well, I ain't gonna lie. When I first found out about it, I kept it a secret. Listen, don't judge me. I had to keep something reserved for my special clientele. Okay, so when I first found out about it, this was in the early 2000s. In the early 2000s, I first found out about it. This is something I kept secret for my clientele. This is when everybody was going crazy. Like everybody was Dr. Africa'd out, Dr. Sabi'd out. I was the only one that knew the reason why people switching to vegan was switching back to eating meat again. I was the only one. Nobody else knew because nobody studied the body scientifically. The people that study the body scientifically, not a part of our community. We ostracized them, especially at this time period. You know what I'm saying? I brought the scientific culture to the holistic space. It didn't exist before. Outside of that, it was just anti-hospital, anti-doctor, anti-school, everything. You know what I'm saying? Anti-books. Even Sabi was running around with the anti-book program. So nobody knew. So you can't be mad with me when you listening to the people telling you don't read books. Don't be mad with me when I'm like, hey, you know what I found out one of these books? Oh, they don't read none of them books. All right. Zip. I'll keep it to myself. But after a while, I started telling everybody, you know what I'm saying? After a while, by the time I did the Eat Right, like 2015, somewhere around there, the 20 teens, I started telling everybody. But the main reason that people was going vegan and then they was switching back to eating meat is because of the creatine drop. When you go from eating meat and you go vegan, the number one thing that's going to happen is your energy and your strength and your endurance is going to drop. Your concentration ability is going to drop. And if you're not conscious, you're going to make up for it with sugars. Right now, if you're disciplined, your sugars will be like grapes, bananas, like fruits. You know what I'm saying? If you're smart, you'll use bananas and coconuts for your mental shortage, because the bananas and coconuts have enough potassium in there, hopefully with the greens. So here's the problem. A lot of people switch from eating meat to go vegan and they don't go to plants. They eating a lot of processed stuff. So you're not even going to make this, you're not even going to get the benefit of having the high dose greens, like real actual vegetables and leaves, like the leafy greens, because the leafy greens is going to give you a lot of magnesium and calcium and, potassium. And then you have the bananas and the coconuts, and that's going to be even more potassium. So your brain will still be able to fight through the fact that, you're low on creatine. But creatine affects your brain and your heart more than your muscle. But bodybuilding people don't understand this part, right? So what creatine does is help your body to recycle ATP and GTP, right? ATP primarily in your muscles, but then you got ATP and GTP in your heart and your brain, right? Creatine is what help you to keep flipping it. Keep flipping it, keep flipping it, keep flipping it. When the creatine is not there, the ATP and the GTP go through the floor, crash. Now, the only way you can fix this is by exercise, right? I remember the very first time I said this out in public. I was in Philadelphia in Black and Nobel bookstore. Now, my classes was notorious because I was teaching science to strippers, drug dealers, dope boys, thugs. You know, I had some conscious folks was in there, but like 70% of the people that was in there listening to me was straight off the block. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was good. You know what I'm saying? I got medical students mixing with thugs. They got packs and all, you know, it was wild. You know what I'm saying? I had medical students in there from Temple and all that, you know, mixed with the hood. Like, it was crazy, right? But I remember the very first time I mentioned, I'll never forget this. It was an experience like that for me. The very first time I wrote on the board, mitochondrial biogenesis. Yo, you would have thought I was an alien in there. They was like, what? Like, everybody was like, even the college kids was like, what? I'm like, mitochondrial biogenesis. This is the solution to go vegan. When you go vegan, you got to do this. They like, oh, I'm going back to meat. As I don't even know how to spell that. I'm going right back to meat. I'm like, oh. Push-ups, anybody? Yeah, this is push-ups. This. Maybe I should have just put push-ups up here. Yeah, push-ups. Yeah. So what happens is you have to compensate for the drop in creatine with more mitochondria. That's really the only way to do it. And it's going to take a little while, period. And it's not like if you're working out before you switch over your diet, like it makes a difference. It doesn't make a difference. No matter what it is, you're going to notice a drop because the creatine going to drop. The only thing you could do is exercise, and really the calisthenics and the isometrics helps the fastest. It helps the fastest, you know what I'm saying? But really doing everything, weightlifting, you know, all of that, you really need it. But your body has to go through a period where you don't have the creatine, but you continue to put the same load on your body every day, and you just cope with it, and your body will produce enough mitochondria. Your mitochondria might double. The number per cell may double, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe 30% increase. And then you'll be back to feeling yourself. So it might take you like 30 days. You know what I'm saying? It might take you anywhere from 3 weeks to like 6 weeks to get, you know what I'm saying, to get acclimated, to feel back to your normal self. But that's just because. Now, here's the cheat code. The cheat code is just go buy you some creatine. You can just go buy you some creatine. And when you switch over your diet, right? But here's the problem. If you already taken creatine, because your body only processes like up to like, I don't know, in between like 3 to 5 grams a day. So if you're already taking creatine while you're eating meat and then you decide to switch over to go vegan, you're stuck because now you can't add creatine because your body's already at the maximum amount from the supplement you're doing. But if you're not supplementing and you stop eating meat and go vegan, you can just add in the supplement. The problem with that is you still have that monkey on your back. So at some point, if you decide to stop taking creatine, you got to go through that drop and rebuild up the mitochondria amount anyway. So you might as well just go cold turkey, you know what I'm saying, and build up the mitochondria so so you get that normal energy. Anyway, all right, so let's go back to this guy. I'm just saying, I for a long time, I knew about that. It was in the books. But don't judge me, though.
Pound of body weight for protein for the day, you'll be at 130% of what your daily creatine dosage needs to be. And that means that you won't actually need to supplement creatine at all because you've already got adequate dietary creatine within your daily diet. And that brings me to glutamine. Glutamine is often held up as being awesome for tissue repair and recovery. What the research does say about glutamine is that you have a normal, healthy diet, glutamine will have basically no effect. It can have some effect on recovery for people who have impacted gut health, or maybe are in a multi-day endurance event like the Tour de France. So for people who are maybe engaged in ultra endurance events or multi-day events where digestion and gut health is really important, or maybe you have something like IBS, glutamine may be of some use to you, But for the rest of us who are following a normal, healthy, athletic diet, exercising regularly, and have no other health issues, save your money, glutamine's just not worth it. Now I have to talk about pre-workouts. Pre-workouts are probably the biggest, most expensive scam on the supplement market right now.
Okay, now, can anybody at home say cocaine? Oh my goodness. Listen, if you drink coffee, right? If you drink coffee, it's cool, right? If you drink coffee, it's cool. But, so, because I don't want the coffee people to get mad with me either. You know what I'm saying? So many people, they be getting mad with, don't. If you're a coffee person, please don't get upset with me, okay? I'm just a black man struggling to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to help. That's it. I'm just trying to help. But listen, so if you drink coffee, just, you good, right? Yeah, I mean, you might not be good, but it's not, just, you know, take it down a notch. A cup, you all right. But if you, multiple cups, 3, 4, 10, 5, maximum strength espresso, you might be in trouble. Now, if you're so hooked on the caffeine that you have turned to powdered caffeine, if you have went to the powdered caffeine and you cannot focus without the powdered caffeine, you are very, very close to a cocaine addict. I just want you to understand that. Yeah, I just want you to understand that 3 cups of coffee is basically equivalent to like 1/5 of a gram of powder. Yo, listen. Think about it like this. I know y'all see, listen, because I know we so conscious and we so healthy that nobody that's watching this channel would ever be involved in any sort of cocaine or anything like that. So I already know that we're just the most wholesome, Christ-loving. We that's not in our universe. But let me just say this. We have watched movies before, right? We have seen TV. We've watched some movies, right? We know what a line of cocaine looks like. Well, if you take 10 of those lines, 10 of those lines, that's the equivalent of 1 serving of that pre-workout. Oh my goodness. 10 lines is the same as 1 serving of those pre-workouts. So, you know, when you see some of these video clips where guys is going crazy, just know, like, it's biochemistry. It's biochemistry. It's biochemistry. You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, you may not want the synthetic boost, right? You may not want the synthetic boost. And if you do, you know what I'm saying? Because I've used some pre-workouts before, but I didn't like the feel. And that's how I learned how to equivocate. I was like, yo, let me look something up real quick. I'm like, hold on, let me look something up real quick. What is this thing here? Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Oh, they're going crazy with the alkaloid and the stem. I was saying, oh man, this is crazy. I'm not doing this. Is crazy right here. So maybe if you know, maybe just have a cup of black coffee. Or, you know, have you some green tea, right? Green tea is caffeined up. But the problem is if you're used to having 2 and 3 scoops of these Because then they'll hit you with the post and the pre. They'll hit you with the pre and the post workouts. Like if you have no idea how juiced up you are with some of these different chemical mixes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. Yeah, man. I'm just saying. You gotta be careful, man. You oh my goodness. I love you for that high level of transparency right there. I was being sarcastic though, trust me. I know it. Listen, it's a mix of us on here. Some of us, we trying to get it together. Some of us, we trying to keep it together. And some of us, we trying to get it back. We done had it together and then fell off. So we trying to get back right. You know what I'm saying? Some of us trying to get right for the first time around. And then some of us, we in a halfway decent space and we trying to get it together. And sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's both. Like right now, I done put on a little bit of weight and I'm personally frustrated with myself, but it's nothing I could do. I broke my leg. So, you know, yeah. You know what I'm saying? In the worst possible time to have a bone issue. The worst possible time of the year to have any problem with your bones is December, January, February. That's vitamin D blackout. Like that's the worst time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, now we got a little 40 degrees up here in Michigan. We got a little 50 degrees in Michigan. Where normally I'd be acting a fool right now. I'd probably be doing a live stream from outside, doing my 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 steps, talking greasy to Osborne. Right now, if I was at 100%, I'd be outside talking reckless to Osborne. Like, yeah, I'm at 15,000 steps. Yeah, I'm there. I'm good, but I'm not great. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we all at different spaces trying to get it together. You know, that's how it go. But, you know, just being able to have that comparison though, because sometimes we can't get around the way something looks to us. You know what I'm saying? So because it's a health product, you know, it's a supplement. Again, the big money, you know, they put them 4D, that 4D camera. Listen, I don't care what you say. They put that 4D camera on it and put that edit to it. Anything could look good, right? So they put that edit on it, put that 4D camera on there, then they package that thing up, send that joint to Joe Rogan. Listen, it looks amazing. You don't realize that thing right there now, when you go, wait a minute, did he say one serving of that is almost the same as 10 lines of cocaine? It's just what it is. A line of cocaine is about 20 milligrams, 30 milligrams. That's what a line is. So now, if you're looking at 300 milligrams of caffeine, 300 milligrams of caffeine has the same type of wiring effect on you as 200 milligrams of cocaine. So that's just the caffeine part. That's not even taken into account. You know, they're probably going to combine in a pre-workout. You're going to get the caffeine, but you're also going to get probably some amount of creatine in there. And then you're probably going to get some sort of nitric oxide stimulant. Yeah, they're going to give you that. And who knows what level of quality the nitric oxide stimulant is going to be, right? It could just be a huge amount of arginine, or you know, like it's wild. But homeboy is funny. I like this guy. He's funny.
If you look at the active ingredients in most pre-workouts, it's just caffeine. There'll usually be a bunch of other things for neurochemicals and for focus and things. You'll see them talk about theanine and theacrine, which are again meant to help you with focus, but you dig into the research on theanine and theacrine and they do absolutely nothing. What really helps you focus is caffeine. Caffeine, somewhere in the 100 to 200 milligrams per dose range, will really set your house on fire in terms of how focused you are. So when you're looking at some of these pre-workouts, most of them start at about 175 milligrams, as high as 300 milligrams per serve. To put that in perspective, that's 3 coffees, or it's a 1.5 double espressos. It's no wonder you feel like you're having a great workout when you've had caffeine in a single shot that's stronger than you've probably drunk for the entire day. That's what's in a pre-workout. Save your money, go buy some no-dos. Now, so what does work? There are certainly supplements that work. I've found some recently to be very beneficial for tissue healing for myself. I'm going to run through the very short list of things that actually work. Outside of creatine, which, as I said, definitely does work, and a high quality, low ingredient protein powder, there are definitely some things that can be quite helpful for you, like vitamin D. Vitamin D is essential, even for those of us who live in Australia and have got a blazing...
All right. So I don't think the rest of it is, we don't need to react to the rest of it. Because at this point, once he goes to vitamin D for supplements that work, vitamin D is not even really a supplement, right? If you know the lay of the land, you probably know exactly what's getting ready to come next. You're going to go vitamin D, protein, collagen, blah, blah, blah. Like it's essential fatty, omega-3. Like he getting ready to just take you through the basics, right? But all in all, it was a good video. All in all, it was a good video, right? So anyway, we got to that, right? We talked about the money, the value of what we're doing. I don't know if everybody saw the beginning of the video, right? But we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up and get, we're going to wrap it up. Just look for them plants. That's what's coming next. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. That's what's coming next. So just know if the Ebers Papyrus book is taking a little while, that's what's taking so long. Me trying to figure out all these plants, the plants that you never heard of. That's what I want to, put in the book, is because that's what the whole book is about, basically. The plant-based applications for the different things, right? Because we know, especially if you've been going through the course, you got the 3 main books, you're getting the workbooks, you're doing your due diligence. You've been on this comedic journey, Melanin versus Diabetes, book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Race Hustlers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we in then Family Chemistry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Kids Biochemistry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the comedic science books, we're up to like 70 books or something like that. Right. So we got like 30 books, and then the comedic science books, like another 70 books. So we're very near the 100 book mark on Amazon. But that is the big missing key component, is like, okay, if they had plant-based treatments for all of the ailments, what are those plants? Right. And then you add that in, 2 + 2 = 4. You add that with the fact that we know 90% of today's pharmaceutical drugs come from plants. You just don't know what's what, right? You know the cinchona bark, right? We know the cinchona bark. That turned into seltzer water. Then we know that turned from seltzer water to 7-Up and Mountain Dew, right? So we know now, especially now, we know more about Mountain Dew, right? Now we got the book, right? Now that we got the book, right? The Mountain Dew book. Now we got the book. We know more about that, but That goes back to the cinchona bark. So that's medicine. But just finding out all of these herbs, all of them, all, you know what I'm saying? All good, most. That's what we on. That's like journeying to the bottom of the ocean. That's like journeying to the bottom of the ocean. That's what we on right now.